My name is Courtney Wild. I was only 14 years old when I was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein.
My name is Annie Farmer, and I was 16 years old.
My name is Jenna-Lisa Jones, and I was only 14 years old.
Today, demands to release the Jeffrey Epstein files placed survivors at the centre. Women who were sexually abused, sometimes for years.
My name is Anushka DiGiorgio, and I stand before you today as a survivor of both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. For me, the turning point was when I had my daughter. And on the day she was born, I knew I had a responsibility to protect her and to protect all children.
This scandal now goes to the heart of American politics.
He bragged about his powerful friends, including our current president, Donald Trump. It was his biggest brag, actually.
The clamour is growing with claims that a client list is being covered up. The government says it doesn't exist. But here's the thing, if it does, they are not the only ones who know which people are on it.
I would like to announce here today, us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know.
This is all about trying to force a House of Representatives vote on releasing the files. 212 Democrats, led by Congressman Ro Khanna, have signed a petition, and 4 Republicans, including Thomas Massie, and one of Trump's most loyal acolytes, Marjorie Taylor Greene, MAGA to her core.
The truth needs to come out, and the government holds the truth.
They need 2 more Republicans to break a deadlock that is causing fury. They actually closed Congress down early before the summer to avoid a vote on the Epstein files. But week 1, and the issue is back with a vengeance. In a way, the reason there is so much interest in this is because it is politically difficult for Donald Trump, the one issue that really drives a wedge between him and his MAGA base.
So this is a Democrat hoax.
Not that he was having any of it.
It's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
Trump pointed to the overnight release of 33,000 pages of documents relating to the Epstein case. But we know there is so much more. Last month, Channel 4 News found court correspondence from November 2020 revealing more than 62 digital devices seized from Epstein's homes, with thousands of images and video and 1.2 million documents. A later letter from Maxwell's lawyer in 2021 outlined terabytes of electronic material with 214,000 photographs and hundreds of hours of video. The president once said, yes, he'd release the files. Some say until he realised he was in them. But many in his MAGA base still want to see them.
In part because people like Donald Trump Jr., J.D. Vance, all of these people who are now in the Trump administration or associated with Trump, were telling them this is a big deal.
Do you think Donald Trump is responsible for egging them on?
Absolutely.
But today was all about the survivors. And your message to Donald Trump today?
My message to you, Donald Trump, is you have a choice right now, and the choice is to unite the country. You do that by putting pedophiles in prison, not pardoning them.
It felt terrifying, it felt empowering, it felt like there's a possibility of real change happening, and hope is a dangerous thing. But I think some of us are starting to have some of it.
This is not going away anytime soon. One thing that was interesting today was that when Marjorie Taylor Greene addressed reporters, she said it was the biggest press conference she'd been to in 5 years as a congresswoman. So look, the interest is huge and the pressure is huge. Could that ease for Donald Trump? Well, it is worth saying that the reason his own supporters were so exercised about this is because they believed that these files would lift the lid on a scandal that would engulf Democrats because of Jeffrey Epstein's previous relationships, for example, with the former President Bill Clinton. As it became clear that their own man also had that sort of social relationship, some of that anger did die down a little bit. And certainly the more vocal supporters of Donald Trump have gone quiet on this. I thought it was very notable that that press conference was taken live by almost all the American networks, apart from Fox News, that was running something else. So look, that will help the president somewhat. And then there is the politics of Washington, D.C. This is essentially the court of Donald Trump. And that means that Republicans who are in Congress behind me, they are scared of stepping out of line. They want to do what he says they should. I mean, in many ways that will help him, but it also means that it was even more significant that today 4 of them did step out of line and support Democrats.
Anushka, thanks very much. Well, a short while ago, I spoke to Theresa Helm, who was amongst those survivors speaking out on Capitol Hill today. I started by asking how much courage that took.
I definitely draw courage, I would say, from standing there alongside others and those that are standing with us. It's very important. So that's very good for us to be able to draw off of one another. Because people are still fearful now, aren't they? I don't know that that will ever go away as long as this, well, I don't know if it'll ever go away, period, because, you know, there's real threat involved and there's real life-changing experience once you come forward as a survivor. Any survivor that comes forward, there's always a bit of fear involved, and then when you have something that is such a high-profile case, yes, the fear is legitimate, and it's life-shifting in every way possible.
You know, Donald Trump has talked about this being a radical left hoax. Do you have any confidence that he was listening to you today?
Well, what I'll say about the hoax itself, or the comment of that, is, you know, we all know very well through our own personal lived experience throughout this entire situation going back decades for so many of us. So there's no hoax, and will we be listened to is, I'm hopeful at this point that we will continue to be heard and listened to, and our positions on the matter valued, and to the point where there's true and further accountability and further action and further investigation. And we shall see. That will be the proof of whether we're being listened to or not, is the what's to come from today forward.
What do you think Trump might have to hide? Do you think he's covering for himself or his powerful friends?
The back and forth political is not what is important here. There are people that are complicit in this matter. There are people that are complicit in crimes that have harmed others. So those are the people that need to be investigated. Those are the names that need to come out, and that's what needs to happen first and foremost.
Do you think the political row has sort of drowned out the voices of survivors somewhat?
The voices of survivors, you know, they're being elevated. They should have been elevated the entire time, and, you know, we're not going anywhere. So none of us are going to be quiet. There's the silencing, I think, is coming to an end.
And there's been a suggestion that some survivors are sort of drawing up their own kind of client list. Is that something that you think is a good idea, that you would want to be part of?
I think that I support entirely what the other survivor women will be doing. We're working hard at moving forward and further investigation, and we're going to do exactly what we were told to do, which is to hold Congress accountable. So that's what we're going to do moving forward, and we're going to see that they're going to stick to their word and pursue this alongside with us.
Theresa Helm, thank you very much for joining us.